Welcome back. Matapos ma-eliminate ang OKC Thunder sa NBA playoffs, marami ang nagtatanong na ano na ang mangyayari sa San Antonio Spurs, lalo na pag nag-retire na ang kanilang key veteran players. At ano ang aasahan natin sa conference final showdown ng Thunder at Golden State Warriors. Para sa usapan niyan, kasama natin ang basketball blogger na si Adrian Dy. Adrian, again, welcome to The Score.
Great to be here,
Parang
Marco.
halos every other day ka nandito, Adrian, especially ngayong playoffs ng NBA. Ito, Spurs versus Thunder, walang nag-akala na matatalo ang Spurs, especially in 6 games. Everybody thought after 67 wins sa regular season, silang makakaharap ng Warriors sa Western Conference Finals. Ano yung nangyari dito sa series na to? Ano yung pinakita ng OKC? Ano yung naging weakness ng Spurs?
Well, siguro unang-una, the Thunder, with each game, win or lose, they got better at reading the defense of the Spurs and also reacting to what the Spurs were trying to do on offense. Alam naman natin na the Thunder are younger, they're more athletic, they're a longer team. So as you see, as the series went on, nakita mo na at first the Spurs were running so many team plays, tapos naging pick and roll na lang, tapos bandang huli, it was just clear isolation plays because they were having such a hard time scoring against the defense of the Thunder. The second, the main adjustment na nakita natin that the Thunder did was they started playing two bigs at the same time. They were going with Steven Adams and Enes Kanter for long portions of the game. And then they started Serge Ibaka with Adams. And nakita natin the Spurs were not able to go small versus that lineup. The Thunder came in as the #1 team in terms of offensive rebounds.
Yes.
And so they were really exploiting that matchup na the Spurs, they only have Tim Duncan and LaMarcus Aldridge as their primary bigs. So when that two big guy lineup of the Thunder was in, they were really able to get multiple repossessions and wear out the Spurs defense.
Kasi during the regular season, hindi often na nakikita mo yung Adams and Kanter sa ba. Usually it's Kanter that comes off the bench. Si Ibaka yung starting four. Pero nakita natin yung athleticism ng dalawang big guys. And nakita din natin, the Spurs, they look their age,
Yes, they
so
did.
to speak, in this series. Tim Duncan, what can you say about Tim Duncan's performance this series and yung 2016 playoffs?
I mean, when you look at what he was trying to do kanina, like he was really playing well for somebody na everyone was saying na baka he might retire. Pero yun nga, towards the end, on that crucial play na he could have cut the deficit to single digits with about 4 minutes left, and then he got viciously blocked by Serge Ibaka, and then naging dunk on the other end for Kevin Durant. For me, it reminded me a lot of the 2013 finals against the Miami Heat na on Game 7, he had an opportunity at a point-blank layup and he missed it. And everyone was saying, "No, ito na to. Matanda na si Tim Duncan. Mag-retire na siya." But, you know, after that, he's still playing. So, a lot of people were saying kanina na baka this is it na for him. I think personally, he might play out the rest of his contract. He has a player option for about $6 million left. So, for me, it wouldn't surprise me if he came back and then once his contract is completed, tsaka na lang siya mag-retire.
Ngayon, Adrian, alam natin itong Spurs defense was tops in the league during the regular season. They were #1 at home, for only one loss the entire season. But 2 of the wins of OKC came in San Antonio. What did you see dito kay Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook dito sa series na to?
Well, for starters, kay Westbrook, everyone says, he's so wild, he's so uncontrolled, he only plays like one way, one gear. But if you look at the series, he started trending more towards distributing the ball more than just going straight at the basket and attacking, regardless of how many defenders there were. So I think that's a very huge part of his growth as a player. Na hindi na siya out of control, hindi na siya, some people call him buakaw. And if he is more in sync with Durant in that way, then the Thunder are a very dangerous team. Especially if you get more of this Durant na he's going up against Kawhi Leonard, who won Defensive Player of the Year again, and he was really torching Leonard.
37 points. He had 41, if I'm not mistaken, in Game 4 ba yun?
Exactly. So, if you're going up against the guy that the league voted as the best defender and you're regularly killing him, basically, that really says a lot about your potential as a team. And to do that, as you mentioned, on the home court of the San Antonio Spurs, who only lost 1 in the regular season, it really says a lot about the maturity of those 2 players.
Before we leave this series and go to the Western Conference Finals, Tim Duncan. If you're Tim Duncan, do you retire? Do you call it quits? Do you hang it up after 5 championships?
I think personally, he can always come back for one more season As I said, he has a player option for 1 more year. He can even decline that and choose to re-sign for even less money just to make sure that the Spurs have all this extra cap space to sign an additional guy this offseason. Siguro yan yung, I don't know, obviously I can't read Tim Duncan's mind. Pero if I were Greg Popovich or C. Buford, who won Executive of the Year, I would tell Duncan na, you know, if you come back, even if you don't take less money, there's a boom in cap space. We could probably go out there and try to encourage some of the veterans to come play with us. They've been linked to Pau Gasol, may nagsasabing Dwight Howard daw, Mike Conley is a free agent. So there are options for them to pursue that can really refresh this team. And if they strike out, Duncan can then say, you know, then I'm not coming back na lang.
Okay, so now moving forward, Western Conference Finals. Two explosive scoring teams. What do you think? Anong advantage ng Golden State? Anong advantage ng OKC? What's your analysis on this series?
What we just saw with the Spurs, the Thunder, as we mentioned, we're going with two big guys. But we've seen Golden State in the past, especially last season in the semifinals against the Memphis Grizzlies, eat up teams that go big. So if the Warriors can go small, with everybody basically in that lineup able to shoot the death lineup, everyone shooting three-pointers, Enes Kanter can't run out of the three-point line to guard shots. Steven Adams is more athletic. He can sort of do it, but it's not something you want him to do on a regular basis. So if the Warriors are able to use that lineup a lot, take a lot of three-pointers and make them, mananalo yung Warriors. However, on the flip side, if the Thunder are able to, as we said, keep getting a lot of offensive rebounds, that might force the Warriors to sub out one of that five in the depth lineup. They're forced to put in Andrew Bogut or Festus Ezeli or maybe Maurice Spates, and that will take away from how explosive their offense is. So those two battling lineups, I think, will determine who will win the series.
I think the Warriors also have had difficulty this season, especially against a team na yung point guard nila is an attacking point guard. Nakita natin yung series nila against Damian Lillard and the Trail Blazers, where yung Blazers were up almost first 3 quarters of all games, and then the Warriors took it in the 4th quarter. Ngayon, you have the premier attacking point guard in Russell Westbrook. Ano sa tingin mo magiging adjustments ng Golden State?
Well, one thing you have to appreciate with how Golden State defended in the previous series, Damian Lillard, is that Klay Thompson really did a good job. Hindi makikita mo sa points because Lillard still scored a lot, but he forced Lillard into some very inefficient games. So, given that Lillard is a better three-point shooter and Westbrook is not, that defense might pay off again. And then you add in the fact na Curry is back in the starting lineup. You can still bring Sean Livingston off the bench to defend the point guard. That sort of tilts it slightly towards the favor of the Golden State Warriors.
But if you're the Thunder, if you're Billy Donovan, what is your focus of attack dito against the Warriors?
I think you want to see if Kevin Durant is still as hot in the previous series when it comes to this one. The Warriors have a bunch of guys they can throw at him. I mean, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala. Maybe they rotate Klay Thompson when Westbrook's on the floor. But again, Durant did such great work against the Defensive Player of the Year. So the runner-up to the Defensive Player of the Year and the Finals MVP of last season, he might actually have a better time against those two guys.
Ngayon, Adrian, alam kong marami kang inside information dito sa Golden State. Health-wise, kamusta si Steph Curry? I know that's one of the biggest worries of Golden State fans.
Well, the good thing about this break is that Curry is able to recuperate. Draymond Green twisted an ankle. He's able to recuperate. Siguro the big question mark is Andrew Bogut, who had the hamstring strain. Worst case scenario, that will knock him out for a couple of more weeks. But I mean, you have Ezeli playing well. They brought in Anderson Varejao specifically for this person to back up just in case Bogut goes down. So again, as mentioned, if they don't have to play a big guy, that's okay. That's no problem. But then, yun nga, if the Thunder are able to kill them on the boards, baka mayari pa sila.
So quickly, prediction?
I'm still going with the Warriors. 73 wins is 73 wins. The Thunder will put up a really good fight, but in the end, Curry kind of has this sort of mental edge against them. Like given that shot in overtime, the way he hit it from half court, I would not be surprised if, just to say na I'm back talaga, he does a couple of things like that.
So Warriors
again.
in
6.
Warriors in 6. Okay, Adrian, I'm sure we'll have you back here in the next few weeks. Thank you very much.
No problem.
For more sports updates, keep watching The Score. And don't forget to subscribe.